So I'm going to do a history lesson because Cognida is a lot older than you think. Started way before 2013. In my early internet days in the mid-90s, worked with a ragtag team out of BBN in Cambridge, Massachusetts, with this preposterous concept that the internet was a service delivery network. At the time, they thought we were crazy. Said, why could you actually run a voice and video and broadcast network on internet? It's just impossible. Internet is fraught with hackers and porn. We were very unpopular. Fast forward to around 2003, dot-com bust, internet starting to become a service delivery network. Started thinking that we need a secure signaling layer to manage point-to-point transactions on the internet to provide services. Services on the internet are going to be data. We need to have a secure way of doing that. Blockchain hadn't been invented yet. Also, very unpopular, very preposterous concept at the time. They slowly started coming up with names for these things, like service delivery network or service delivery platform. By 2013, we started actually implementing some of these concepts, really helping enterprise customers, industrial companies, connect disparate, isolated legacy systems to the internet. I think they were still struggling with spelling IoT at the time, but it was an IoT-based solution, not cloud-based. Interestingly enough, there was a lot of sensitivity to connecting a sensitive plant automation or building automation system to the cloud. I used to joke with people, I don't think that we're going to be controlling nuclear power plants from the cloud anytime soon. I've had people storm out of the building and tell me, never say never to that. Suffice it to say, from 2013 to 2017, we've had a significant amount of evolution of our platform, significant amount of learning about what enterprises are struggling with connecting sensitive things, sharing data. We started as Bitcoin was just getting going. Blockchain looked like a compelling technology in 2013, but not really quite ready to incorporate into an industrial enterprise platform. So we persevered. We implemented a token-based security system for sharing access and information to devices and systems. Worked with Fortune 100 telecom companies, oil and gas companies. I had to deal with a cow slaughterhouse that wanted to hook up their automation system and monitor it across different solutions. Learned a lot about how not to have to crawl around the customer's site to solve the problem. In every one of these cases, we were dealing with customers who were sensitive about their secure systems, sensitive about systems that were not intended to connect to the internet, but wanting to share data across their organization. By 2017, we had Rev 2 of our platform. We'd evolved to providing solutions to a variety of different sectors, agriculture, data centers, oil and gas. And we, once again, looked at the blockchain world, said there's some really interesting projects out here. Started talking to customers. Essentially, the concern was there's too many of them. We don't know what to adopt. Well, we've spent all these years doing protocol translation, translating all these cryptic protocols, BACnet, Modbus, Profibus. Blockchain's another protocol. We can translate. We can create a standard API and translate a standard function to any blockchain. So I partnered in 2017 with Bing Byington, and we decided to merge his expertise in the healthcare data world, which is really a poster child for some of the solutions that we're going to talk about, and the IX information exchange platform, and start to build a blockchain agnostic solution set for enterprises. We founded Windmill Enterprise as a Delaware C Corp, and in 2018, we forked the entire Python-based IX platform into Cognida. And the fun began. So, in every single instance, both in Bing's world and my world, we found not a single customer that was happy about taking their digital assets, getting the data up into a cloud vendor's API, asking permission to access that data, and having to agree to their security and privacy policies. Not one single customer, not one single enterprise client was comfortable with that. It simply doesn't scale. You've got attorneys, you've got IT security folks looking at doing this across multiple vendors. You're losing control of your data. You have fear of hackers. Think Target. Think Facebook, in terms of having your data exploited, having your data hacked, not having control over enforcing your own security policies, but you're at the mercy of someone else's. So we essentially opted to create a solution to this, which we had been working on for several decades, and incorporate blockchain as part of the solution. So the core technology, we view blockchain as a ubiquitous, immutable, secure database. So as far as an enterprise is concerned, enterprises are not that enamored with a trustless system. They want to build a trusted service relationship. But the idea of being able to take data that represents that trust, represents identities, represents things like permissions and access, and having it available anywhere on the network, and then be able to drop a service node on that network, hook it up to a digital asset, and may not even be on your network, and be able to reference your security permissions, access, identities, and enforce your security policies to access that digital asset. Could be a database, could be a device, could be a legacy system. Be able to share data across your organization with third-party vendors. This is the core of what Cognida is doing. Main thing is a familiar administration interface that consumers, that customers, that enterprises can use to manage their security policies and their assets. Building on this, you can now create networks. You can now create a network solution set within your enterprise, secure assets that typically were not secure within your enterprise. With that same administration interface, I can now manage assets being shared with or services being offered on a public network. Essentially, this now begins to change the cloud paradigm. Now enterprises host their own data, go to service provider and say, I'll give you permission to access my data. I'm going to enforce my security policies. I'm going to enforce my privacy policy. This is core to what the Cognida Service Network is looking to transform. We're also adopting a fairly interesting open source model. So Windmill Enterprise is a Delaware C Corp. We're a for-profit company. We've raised all of our money to date and going forward with accredited investors. If you were here earlier, we sadly announced we're not doing an ICO. We're doing a token generation event. We're issuing tokens when we launch this platform. Tokens are to be used by enterprise customers to establish identities on a network, to establish service interfaces. We are endowing this software. We are endowing tokens to a Cognida open source foundation, transforming a little bit how an open source foundation works. Is not only overseeing membership and overseeing contributions, but also overseeing a network, a service layer that sits on top of the internet, secured by blockchain of an enterprise's choice, to establish trusted identities, trusted service relationships. This new open source model provides governance, coordinates community contributions, community oversight. From Windmill's standpoint, after launch, we take the approach of an integrator. Our job now is to drive customers, build applications, build solutions that work on the network. We won't be the only one. This is a non-exclusive relationship. We're already talking with partners who would be coming in and doing similar things to us. Our focus initially is healthcare, specifically the clinical trial data world, which is really very hungry for a solution that allows you to provide a permission-based, secure way to get data from a customer or a patient, get it to a place where I can securely share aspects of that data with different stakeholders in the organization, and comply with HIPAA or whatever regulations your country enforces for healthcare policies. Another area that we will be focusing on out of the box is leveraging the information exchange experience with industrial IoT. It's a huge problem with a plethora of both cloud and edge IoT platforms. We see an opportunity to provide unified security. Some of them have no security. Some of the security is an afterthought. Providing administration and a security solution that is common across all those platforms. Remember, we're the data translator. We're the universal translator layer. We also are being approached to talk to in areas of facility management, smart cities, energy management. So we intend on doing our part to drive value and drive customers into the Cognida network. But the Cognida network itself is an opportunity for service providers. It's an opportunity to build services on top of the network and offer them to enterprises. This is where there's opportunity for many of the people in this room. We're working with multiple blockchain technology companies. We're providing solutions for hardware-based and cloud-based private key management, because you cannot provide a trust network if your private keys aren't secure. So we're working with a variety of partners in those areas, but there's entire applications and services that can be built on top of this network, and we're inviting communities in the AI, in the distributed storage, just general cryptocurrency services to come on and provide services to enterprises. So, to recap, we started in 2013, but started way before that. We have evolved to the Cognida fork in January. Took our developer about 3 days to build an API into Factum as the first blockchain project that we plugged into. We, as development continued, we completed our seed SAFT round, and we are about to do a private sale the end of June for accredited investors. Today we did our marketing launch. June 8th was our embargoed launch, but today we formally are announcing Cognida, so y'all are welcome to enjoy that. But prior to launch, we'll be adding some Ethereum-based APIs to basically store identities, policies, permissions, and we will be announcing partnerships that provide private key security solutions that integrate into the platform, which is essential at launch. So at launch, the things that will be available include, well, our token generation event, Bitcoin and Ethereum-based APIs, blockchain authorization services. We're incorporating legacy authorization servers like Kerberos, LDAP, even SSL, certificate authority capabilities, with a back end that's blockchain. The database is blockchain. So literally, you can drop these anywhere now. We're distributing authorization, authentication. We have a whole slew of Python scripts for talking to a variety of different protocols. That language we see evolving, or our scripting environment will evolve to provide developers opportunities to build unique and innovative solutions on top of the platform. Post-launch, Windmill Enterprise will continue to drive market verticals, bring customers into the platform. The foundation will continue to promote ongoing development, incentivize, create a foundation for governance for the network, and establish basically a trusted network and a trusted identity service So now enterprises can establish who they trust and who they want to deal with and develop trusted service relationships on a public network. I welcome all of you to come to our booth and talk about how we all might work together. We are excited about this community and believe that it could conceivably get enterprises to actually start using blockchain. Thank you.
Michael Hathaway, ladies and gentlemen.